Hi everyone.
Hi, I'm Jean-Luc.
I'm Nick, and we're the WWGays.
And we're outside walking today because guess what? This is a new episode of
What's the Tea?
What's the Tip with Jean-Luc and Nick.
Today is all about non-scale victories and
Our NSVs,
and
we hear it all the time, right?
Exactly, and you guys know how much we think they're very important to have non-scale victories.
Well, non-scale victories are really what keep you going on this journey.
The scale is not your friend.
The scale, actually, no matter which way you look at it, at the beginning of your journey, you don't like it because the number on the scale is too high. At the end of your journey, you don't like it because you never want to see that scale move and change.
And not just that, as throughout your whole journey, you get plateaued or you maintain, as we always say.
We don't say
and
plateau.
Exactly, but the thing is, the scale ends up being a frenemy throughout your journey.
I love that
Some days it's your friend,
is a frenemy.
and some days it's your enemy.
And because we say that, because guess what? There's days where you're tracking, there's weeks where you're tracking, you're doing everything you can, but that scale goes up.
Exactly.
And you don't understand and you can't explain it. So that's why we want to talk about non-scale victories, our famous NSVs, as we all know them so well.
Yep. So when we started our journey back at the beginning, back in 2011, our first why, as we tell the children in our last episode, had to do with looking good. And then multiple whys when we came back after that had to do with the scale and trying to reach a certain goal weight. It wasn't until this last time we came back and said the scale is no longer our main barometer that we started succeeding.
It's not our go-to anymore.
It's not our go-to anymore. That's why when you guys see us weigh in every week, we don't fret about the little gains anymore. We just move on and keep going.
We keep remembering everything else that we're able to accomplish throughout that week. And that's what makes us want to keep going. Why do we put so much emphasis on this number that really will never be exactly the same?
Exactly, hon.
I don't know how many times I've mentioned this before, where if you weigh yourself 5 times in a day, you will never weigh the exact same amount. So why is it every single week we expect this number to be specifically the same, especially at the end of your journey, or we expect the number to be down, even if at times, guess what? You know it's not going to be down because you overindulged.
Exactly, and that's
okay.
And so remember, the non-scale victories help you along the way. They help you have, and one of the things that we tell everyone is to write them down.
Yes.
Write down your non-scale victories and the days that happen, because no matter what happens as you go through your journey, and I'll speak to anybody out there who's on Lifetime. Do you remember the first time you fit into your first lower size of pants? For me, it would have been size 46. Yes, I do. 44?
Nope.
No. 42?
Nope.
40? 38?
Nope.
None of them.
I think the only time I do remember is the first time I hit like a decade in pant sizes.
Yeah.
Especially for men.
Yeah.
Because we go from 40s to 30s.
Yeah.
But even at that, it's still a faint memory. So when you write these things down, you can remind yourself about the victories you've had
along the way. If you don't write them down, do a video. Create yourself a video journal in your phone. Don't post them like we do.
No.
Just keep them on your phone. Record yourself saying, today I was able to walk up the stairs and not run out of breath. Well, that's a non-scale victory.
Look at us right now. This is something very out of our norm.
Yeah.
This is something we never would have done before. First of all, went outside for a walk.
Yeah.
And to talk about how we feel about what we're able to do now, because this is not something we would have done before. Just simply getting up and walking.
We would have sat on the couch all day.
We would have sat on the couch.
It's Sunday today.
Exactly.
We would have sat down on the couch.
And we wouldn't have dressed up for you either. But we thought we'd dress up as well.
Because we did want to talk about
another non-scale victory.
Exactly. So we want to talk to you guys about the categories of non-scale victories, because a lot of people think, oh, it's only one area. Only one thing is really a non-scale victory. It could be anything, guys.
Anything can be an NSV. I love that. Anything can be an NSV. That's a new thing of saying it.
Yeah. And so the thing that we want to tell you guys about is some of the areas you can look for non-scale victories now. Clothing, right here, is one. Jean-Luc and I, we both started in bigger clothing. Yes. I started with a size 48 pant.
I started in a size 46.
I'm now in 32.
And I'm also now a 34, 32.
And we started out I started on triple XL shirts.
And I was in a double XL. I probably should have been wearing triple.
And I can now wear mediums and
ditto. Mediums and larges.
And that's a non-scale victory right there.
And even a non-scale victory could be going back to your closet and finding clothes that you were able to wear back in the day that now you could put back on again.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't mean it has to be new clothes that you purchased.
Or clothes that you used to love that were perfect for you, now they're too big. That's a non-scale victory.
That's a non-scale victory. Or changing the size of shoes you wear.
Yes.
Putting a new belt on.
Yeah.
Those are all non-scale victories.
Going to the store and be able to fit into the clothes at a regular store. That's a non-scale victory. Going on a plane and being able to walk down the aisle without shifting sideways. Sitting on a plane without having to wear a belt extender. That's a non-scale victory.
Sitting in your car and realizing, wow, I have space between the steering wheel and my stomach. non-scale victory.
Exactly. Health reasons. If you were ever on any medication, any blood pressure medication, anything,
Any cholesterol medication,
any
anything at
health
all.
issues, if those have disappeared, those are non-scale victories.
Another non-scale victory is being able to sleep through the night without waking up. Being able to drink all the water that you want to drink throughout the day. I
Yep.
mean, it's so silly that we don't realize that all these little things that we do and these habits that we create, these micro habits, are actually micro victories.
Exactly.
And I really want to emphasize that, because for us, being on this journey meant we needed to celebrate. And the more we celebrated, the better we felt about ourselves, the better we succeeded at the journey.
And the more the scale was no longer determining how well we were doing on this journey.
Exactly.
It was just a barometer now. It's a tool that helps us see, oh, am I doing okay
What
right
do we
now?
say about scale?
Search and consult achievements located elsewhere. That's our acronym.
That is what scale means. You
Exactly.
don't look at the scale. The scale's never going to tell you, wow, you look great in that black dress today.
Wow, your blood pressure's down today. You're
Wow,
doing good.
You don't need to take your insulin injection today because your sugar levels are perfect.
It doesn't tell you that.
doesn't tell us
We want to
that.
patent that scale, so
We
patent
do.
pending.
We're working on it. Hopefully, if somebody knows how to create a scale that's able to tell us that
Yeah,
stuff,
exactly.
we'll work with you.
Yeah. So
They're building a condo access
Yeah,
right
from
by
the-
our park.
yeah.
It's kind of funny because it's so civilized right now.
So a lot of these non-scale victories were the one we talked about so far had to do a lot with appearance, had a lot to do with
Yes.
things you can do now. But there's also decision and the fact that you pause.
I love that. Hun.
So a lot
I
of
was going to
times-
say it's food non-scale victories.
A
in
lot of
sense.
times, a lot of us back in the day, and I've used this analogy or this scenario for a lot of people during workshops. If you went to a buffet or a party or any get together in the past, a family dinner, and people presented food in front of you, would you have stopped and paused?
and thought about it.
You would have just ate.
Nope,
You would just grab
exactly.
yourself a big plate of food and not
And
even
just
think
ate.
about any of it and ate.
But now we actually stop and take a moment before we actually pick and put what we put on our plate.
Exactly.
So it's almost like, wow, what's on this table? What is going to nourish my body and going to make me feel fullest the longest?
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's going to be, what am I going to enjoy the most because I know today is my indulgence day and I'm allowed to have it.
We call it negotiating.
Negotiating.
You're negotiating with yourself so that you're picking the right choices at the moment in terms of what you want to eat.
And then not feeling guilty about it, because guess what? Yet again, a non-scale
Scale
victory
victory.
is forgiveness. Learning how to forgive yourself throughout this entire journey from the get-go.
Yeah.
Not being so hard on yourself. So when you have that moment of, and I hate to say it, sometimes it is weakness.
It is, sometimes,
Because sometimes you're overwhelmed, you have so many choices to make in a day, and it's hard to make those choices, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
So, as we come on to the end of our walk, we want to make sure that you guys look at your own non-scale victories. Look at things that you can do today that you couldn't do before, and please start writing yourself a journal.
And every single time you start doubting yourself, every single time you start saying, oh my goodness, I'm not following the program, or I'm not feeling confident in what I'm doing, go back and revisit those non-scale victories that you wrote down.
Or even the weeks that the scale is just not responding. If it's been weeks it's not responding, look at those non-scale victories and look at them and say, can you still do them?
Am I able to still do this?
If
Is
you're-
this something that I can keep doing for a long time?
No, I mean, if I'm saying if those
Yeah.
non-scale victories are still things you can still do,
Definitely.
that means the scale is not determining how well you're doing.
No.
All those other things that are now victories for you are now front and center. You're still doing them and they're still good. So don't look at that scale and let that deter you, because the scale doesn't just decide how healthy you are. The scale
not
doesn't
at all.
decide how much of a good
The scale
decisions.
is not your cheerleader.
No.
You are. You
Yeah.
need to cheer yourself on every single moment of the way, because as Nick said before, non-scale victories never disappoint.
Exactly.
They never disappoint.
So now we're gonna go and end our walk by going up our
This
stairs
is a non-scale victory for us.
So we'll end it here because right here is one of our non-scale victories, a huge flight of stairs. as
We
you
would
can
have
see.
avoided stairs back in the day for any single possible reason. And now whenever there's a flight of stairs, guess what? We
just
take
take 'em.
it because it's leading us to the best part of our journey.
So
It's the forever part.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed our tips today. Remember, look for your non-scale victories. Please start writing them down below in the comments below. Share them. Put them somewhere on your fridge, somewhere you can see them every day.
And never think a small non-scale victory is not good enough to celebrate.
Celebrate.
Everything needs to be celebrated, because small things end up adding up together and becoming a big thing in the long run.
And remember, non-scale victories do
Never
not
disappoint.
disappoint. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like below. Please subscribe to our channel. And you can find us on all social media using
Hashtag WWGays,
and you
or
can also
our website at www.gays.com.
hit the like if you enjoyed our video.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Love yourself.
Bye.